be posted as well. So use cases now are a nice complement to those because we can cover the workflows. So that's very much at the user perspective, right? We could say that the decision tables look at the inner workings of the system from a logical perspective of conditions and actions and so forth, kind of separated from the question of, well, you know, who's doing that and why. It's just, does every action happen only under the appropriate set of conditions? And then states, of course, kind of looking at things from the systems perspective of, you know, what are the sequence of the states that we're going through, and you know, how those handled. And then use cases, now we've got the user perspective. So we've kind of looked at the problem from all the different sides, which is good. It's nice to have those techniques available to do that. So you can do a whole range of different kinds of business logic testing with these three techniques. And subsequent webinars, when we talk about some of the other advanced techniques, we're also going to give you some other ideas about how to test business logic in other new and interesting ways. So there are a lot of ways to go at this, and you know, use case is a good one to have in your toolbox, if you will. Okay, so that concludes this the body of the presentation. I'll put the advertisement up here while we go through question and answer. And at this point, I will take questions, and let's get this question box up here as big as I possibly can. Okay. See, start off. We got a question from Bill Basinski. How do we download print slides before webinar begins? Yeah, the slides are posted on the basic library, and let's see. Go out to rbcs-us.com, and it's on the basic library. You should be able to find the slides there. Obviously, the webinar is now over, but for future reference, this is a good practice to get in. Go out there before, download the slides, and then you can have them on your PC. That way, if anything happens to your connection, you can always dial in to get the audio of the presentation and follow along on PDF slides, and dial into the phone line and go through it that way. So, yeah, good idea to do that. If you have any trouble with that, then you know, do let me know, and we'll try to get that worked out. Let's see. Yeah, we got some comments from Barbara and Glenda saying we're having problems with the audio. Yeah, I apologize for that. There was some sort of audio glitch apparently early on in the webinar with apparently GoToWebinar. From my side, what I kept hearing was these DTMF tones, these beep 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 kind of tones that would happen, and it didn't seem to be hearing me. So I do expect that did end up working. For now, you know, if you had a problem and you can send me an email with some more details about what the nature of the audio problem was, I'd appreciate that, because I'd like to kind of look into this. We haven't had this happen before. I'd like to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Okay, let's see. I see that Bill did find the where's the use case sign? So, okay, Bill, if you're still having trouble finding the slides, email me, and I'll post that. But those are on the basic. You go to the resources library, basic library page, and that's where you'll find them. Okay. So, a question from Rich. Good to see you again, Rich. If a company has a business outcomes-centric approach to software testing, are use cases easily macro or micro-engineered, and in their respective test cases more E to E, meaning end-to-end, or less UAT detailed versus isolating particular system behavior confirmations? Yeah, Rich, I think that's a good way of thinking about it. Is, you know, if let's say that you're using something like decision tables, right, or cause-effect graphing, that's going to be very much focused on a specific action or a specific thing happening at a specific moment in time. Similarly, the state diagrams are very kind of fine-grained. They are isolating particular system behaviors. Decision tables and state diagrams are going to do this specific thing, and I want to make sure that this specific thing happens. So that's a good way of looking at that. And in the use cases, yes, very much kind of it's about achieving something with the system. It's not necessarily about intermediate steps along the way, though of course you are going to check those as a tester. But the use case and the testing of the use case is mostly about making sure that somehow or another the system is supposed to deliver value to a user. It's supposed to do something that the user needs it to do. Does it do that? Does it serve the purposes? So one of the ways that I like to put this is there's this concept of verification and validation. Okay, so in verification, we're talking about verifying that you know, all the right individual things are happening, right? But validation is about, you know, does the system have value? And use cases are very much connected to this concept of validation. Individual things could be done right, and the system could still have no value if all of the main use cases don't work. Okay, let's see. Glenda has a question. I missed the first 2 software testing webinars. Tell me the names of them so I can go out and download them, please. So if you go to the digital library page, so it's rbcs-us.com, and then you go to the resources button, and so at the top you'll see it says resources highlighted in black. Click on that. That'll pull down a list, and then you go down that pull-down list to library, and then go over to the right and select digital library. So that's where you want to end up, is on the digital library. And on that digital library, you will find the decision table webinar. You'll find the state transition state testing webinar. In fact, you will find all of the recorded webinars posted out there. So you can watch them from there. They're recorded WMV format, so you can actually listen to them and watch them just as if you had participated. The advantage of participating in the webinars is, of course, you get to ask questions afterwards, as you guys are doing now, which helps you get more value out of it. Also, for the webinars that count for PMI PDUs, which this one does not because it's technical, but the management-oriented ones do, pretty sure that you actually have to attend the webinars to claim the PDUs. I don't think it's sufficient to just listen to a recorded one. You have to check with PMI about